Welcome back, Smartest Dumb People. LV the Great TV. We had some technical difficulties, man. For some odd reason, when we start getting too real, man, Facebook shut us down, man. We accustomed to it though. This is not the first time they did it because we was cooking. The show started to cook, but your bro Les, he has something to say as far as in. Let me see here. Let's get our people back in here. Yeah, it's bugging. Well, we had technical difficulties. We back. Shit got real. LV the Great started talking some real shit.
Yeah, LV was talking about Dred Scott.
Dred Scott.
Right.
What was you saying about Dred Scott?
Well, just a quick backdrop. Dred Scott was a slave that was traveling, that went to certain areas of the United States that slaves was considered free. And so he was like that since he went to those areas as a slave, but he ventured into them territories where slaves was free. He felt like that he should be free. So then he filed a lawsuit against his slave masters to gain his freedom. The lawsuit went all the way to the Supreme Court. When it went to the Supreme Court, they did not disagree with what he was saying, but they disagreed with the way that he was representing himself in court, which goes back to what TV was touching on and talking about. And so when we refer to ourselves as black, Native American, Negroes, all of these bywords, then we don't fall up under the law. So the long story short was Dred Scott, the Supreme Court didn't disagree with him. They just decided that since he was considering himself a Negro, which wasn't recognized in the Constitution and wasn't recognized in the courts and under the laws, then he didn't qualify to be a free human being.
Now
If he go ahead. Go ahead.
Now let me piggyback off of that.
Okay.
Because we know the other court case, which was different, same judge, Judge Taney. This was Henry Tunica of the Washita Moors / Indigenous from down there in Louisiana against the United States. Same case, but trying to solidify his land, went in front of the same judge and got an opposite conviction or an opposite, judgment, which was he was considered as indigenous and he ended up winning his case.
Oh,
You gotta accept it. I ain't tapped in.
Yeah,
Yo, tap her in. She wanna come in. No, she want to come in on the screen and talk.
Oh, okay.
You gotta hit that green button.
there is no green button, bro.
Yeah, right there.
You hit it.
Well, why y'all trying to get in there, Yolanda? He should have considered himself as an indigenous
I'm not even
American,
in the motherfucking. I can't even share it, dog.
Whatever tribe he came from, whether it was Washita, Iroquois, Cherokee, Inuit, Seminole. But when we go away from the indigenous names, we put ourselves in a very bad predicament when it comes to the law, knowing that there's 3 branches of the government. 3 branches of the government is legislative, executive, and judicial. Anything under the law is going to come under judicial. So if you in the judicial segment of the branches of the government referring to yourself as a brand name, which is property, you're going to be in trouble because they do not respect property as having rights under the law.
No, don't do it that way.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead, TV.
Yeah, so that's what it is. And then it came with Schwinn. Schwinn was actually on here speaking about how do we get reparations as a piece of property. Again, going under the 14th Amendment, 1871, which is called the Act of 1871, when they declare all United States citizens, meaning everybody that voted today, as a piece of property, then that means you're not a human being. Goes back under the 13th Amendment, where they declared you as 3/5 of a human being. Now we look at that like that's something we could just walk up to people and say, oh, I'm not 3/5 of a human being. Well, you better go to court with that. Mm-hmm. And when you go to court with that, you better have the right name, which is, it's a saying that respect or honor thy mothers and thy fathers, meaning thy foremothers and thy forefathers, your ancestors. Let me get it right. Have you ever heard that before?
Are you talking about?
I ain't sure.
I almost had it right. I'll say it in just a second. But the whole point is honoring the names of your foremothers and your foremothers and your forefathers, so that you would get respect from these people that are coming in trying to take your land, because it all was taken under law. So when you don't go under the respect of your foremothers and your forefathers, you won't get the respect that is earned to you. Because when these people came in and wrote these treaties up with these Europeans and with all these indigenous peoples, it was the respect of those treaties that is going to get you your rights. Right. And the Constitution was written as a trust indenture between the indigenous people, which is us, anybody that's melanated, the copper-colored people that were here that didn't come from other lands. These treaties were written for you to get your rights, and for them, that was a trusted indenture for them to respect your rights. But when they come in and then start calling you black, Negro, color, African American, and all that, them is brand names that they own, and they own them names just like they own property. So the 3/5 of human comes as you're not a total human being, meaning that you are property, and you're not going to get reparations or anything else as referring to yourself as those brand names.
So, again, we basically had to start over because we were shut down. We are talking about...
Do you think you knew who his tribe was? Go ahead. No, go ahead.
We are talking about should you vote? Also, shout out to what's going on. We're going to give a shout out real quick. Biden is up 119 to 92 as far as in the electoral votes. We'll keep you updated on the electoral votes as you watch. But basically, yeah, I like I said, this all started because I didn't want to vote, and I got slandered for not voting. I was called fat. I'm
trying to figure out, what did you say to the woman to make her come at you like that? Did you say? No, you already know. We had this conversation during the protest, during the George Floyd protest. Motherfuckers really think, because I'm a comedian, that they can just, but I give them that energy though. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm old as shit, and I got kids to take care of. I don't got no energy to be arguing with no nigga, no bitch, no nothing on Facebook. It's just my personality. I don't have the energy to argue with you like you want to fight me, because you don't. That's why I don't care. So when a motherfucker say something to me, I just take it on the chin and keep it moving. I mean, but what was the catalyst? What was said?
What was the conversation? The conversation was, I'm lame. I'm a lame ass nigga because I ain't vote. Then I said, that's funny, you old as fuck with them filters.
Oh, okay. Okay, so right there. So don't try to make it seem like you was a victim to voter suppression.
I was.
You know what I'm saying? How? Because
a lame ass nigga it's the same. She might well call me a fat ass nigga then. All I did was defend myself and say, okay, old lady with the filters on your profile picture.
That's your question. You answered it. She insulted you.
Exactly.
You're going to get it insult back.
At the end of the day, man, look, man, like I said, I don't have the energy to beef. And the whole point of me, like I said, it was kind of like low-key experiment within myself that I didn't realize I was experiencing. I didn't know I was doing the experiment until it started happening to me. So what happened was, I'm going to express how I'm not going to vote. right? And I want to see what the people that's voting have to say. Because all of my people that's voting is vote for Biden. Come on, black Democrats, they vote for Biden. So I say I'm not voting, I turn into a lame ass, fat, pussy nigga. Trump supporters. You don't like Trump? Fuck you. You N-word, you whoopty-whoop. That's what happened.
What's the N-word?
I don't want to get demonetized. So
Right.
But I'm saying, like, she lit.
He's speaking from a Trump supporter perspective. He wasn't saying that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's saying
I'm
that's
saying,
what Trump
remember we
supporter
seen
was
the
saying.
video
Right.
of the Trump supporters harassing a woman that had a Black Lives Matter sign in her fucking car. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what happened with me on a different side, but it became, you're not voting? Well, fuck you, nigga. You ain't, that's what happened. And I'm like, this is becoming a low-key great experience because now I can finally look from a Trump supporter side of the fucking spectrum.
Right.
And, or a person that's
What
not,
you mean by Trump? Are you talking about a black Trump supporter or just any Trump supporter?
I feel like this is what happens when you disagree and you don't move with the masses attack you, and that's what's happening.
Well, the masses is Republicans. We have to agree with that.
The masses is my people that's voting because they're Democrats and they're voting for Biden because they want Trump out of there because he has the masses of white supremacists following him. So what I did was I'm not voting for nobody, but I could have been, hypothetically speaking, I go with that same energy. I can go over to Trump supporter rally and have a Black Lives Matter sign and would be called just as many N-words or fat, lame ass nigga that I was when I didn't want to vote. So then you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and that's what's wrong with society. We became trend followers. We became move with the masses. That's what social media. We already had this conversation. It just programs you to judge, be judgmental, and laugh and be hateful to the most freedom of speech doesn't exist no more.
But I would say that's more with a catalyst of social media. That this mind frame that we got comes from the General Board of Education and what we being taught in school. Not having any knowledge about political science, being dumbed down to certain demographics of what's going on in politics and even in the nation, even financially and in education. So when you have that, then you're going to have a bunch of trend followers because they don't really know what's going on.
Now, with that said, do you think that they had these conversations in the barbershops in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s?
Well, I know they did in what we was talking about a couple weeks ago, which is with Ernie Chambers. He used to bring up them type of things in his barbershop. Now, in the average barbershop, hell no. You know what they talking about in the barbershop.
But I do remember, though, in my home, when what's that? The white dude with the big ears. It was some white dude with some big ears. But we still had these conversations in the home, in our communities, before social media. This is not a social media thing. This is this is not this blacks voting along political lines, because even before we was considered Democrats, we was voting Republicans. You know what I'm saying? And the Republican Party was considered liberals. You know what I'm saying? And so us not having a voice in the vote, us not having an actual agenda in the political process is age old. This ain't nothing new. It's not tied to Facebook. This is.
I said it was tied to Facebook.
I'm not saying that. I'm not because we get tied up in
Social
the
media
now.
aspect of it.
When for us, 12 years ago, we didn't get. I was in my 20s when they came out with cell phones.
Not 12 years ago, you was.
But when they started coming out with cell phones, I was in my 20s. No, these are facts. You know what I'm saying? That's the same way you was in your 20s. How old was you when you think they came out with Facebook?
about 15 years ago.
Oh, you old as shit.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say this though. Alright, so we watching the election. By the way, we watching the election. I can't stress this enough. Right? I'm gonna tell you how programmed we are, and they might be starting some shit that we ain't ready for. Right now, the score is 119 to 92. If anybody want to bet me, eventually Trump will be winning this election. I'm willing to bet you right now. They did it. They've done it for the last fucking 12 years.
But what
they really got us thinking, like, they want you to get hyped. They want you they want you to get hyped. They want you to, these motherfuckers know they ain't counted the Florida votes. They ain't counted the New York. They want,
no votes can be all counted until days later. All of this is a projection.
Just giving you electoral vote.
Well, it's all for projection.
Of them, so you should be able to count them, but they playing.
They playing my game.
But now,
and again, and like I said, this is where you open my third eye. I can't just believe what I see, because from the average human being, oh shit, he up 27. What's this? 17 points. No, this is what they look. They probably already know Trump is gonna win. I'm just telling you what I believe in my heart. They probably already know Trump is gonna win, and this is what made me say fuck voting. Right now, y'all sitting at home drinking your wine. Hey, we winning. Please.
But why would you say rewrite the Constitution then? Why? So if you think that the voting is bullshit,
I know it is.
Okay. So then that means the Constitution is bullshit.
I know it
because this system.
Did I say the Constitution?
Hold on, time out. But hold on, time out.
Did I say that?
No, you didn't say
But
that.
you said you mentioned a rewriting of something that's bullshit, and so this.
No, he was talking about writing the laws in, which she was talking about.
I thought dude.
I've been saying it for days though.
Right. So, but this process that we watching is written and conducted by the same individuals that wrote the Constitution.
But I'm trying to tell you, it's a mind game.
Process.
This is all. I'm telling you. I just wish people would open that third eye and realize these motherfuckers gonna do what they want to do. That's all I'm trying to get you to understand.
They only can do what they want to do off of the ignorance and the not knowing of our people. Our people keep moving like they know what they want to do, or they know what's going, and they really don't, and nobody wants to address that. The truth is this here. They have to vote every 25 years for us to even be able to vote. That's number one. Because you're a piece of property.
So the Civil Rights Act and the Vote the Right Acts. Go ahead.
Man, them is just acts.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's all.
But that's what they vote on.
Statutes and codes. That's not law. That's not Constitution.
Right.
That's number one.
But that
number two is. Number two is that the 13th Amendment, which came before the acts, because 14th Amendment is when all the bullshit started. 1871. The 13th Amendment said anybody of African descent can't even be a U.S. citizen. This is what it says. So we're not even supposed to be U.S. citizens. We're supposed to be true Americans. We're supposed to be American citizens. So that means if you just choose to be a U.S. citizen, they don't have to choose to use your vote until it's beneficial for them. That's why they can sit and go every 25 years and vote for you to be able to vote. But they don't do nobody else like that. See, this is the details that is all in the mix and in the gumbo. These are the ingredients that's in the gumbo that people don't know what they tasting. They just eating and having fun, talking shit.
So let's
know what's going on.
Now let's unpack that though a little bit.
Unpack it.
Let's unpack that a little bit
for you, but you know we got to talk about it. Hold on,
yeah. Because we want everybody to understand.
Yeah, I get
when you say that. Okay, so now are we talking about the Rider Acts to vote and the Civil Rights Act?
Them is all you playing, not you, but anybody that's playing in the system that comes after 1871, and that's you participating as a piece of property.
Right, but we want when you say that, we want the people that's listening to understand that when you say that, we have to go back and revisit the right for us to vote.
They don't want
The
That,
right-
that room
right.
that room that Fox
They-
News is showing right now ain't even real.
They
Exactly.
want us.
What I'm saying
that's
is
not.
this here.
That ain't real.
We're supposed
Hell
to be
no.
operating in a whole
What do you do?
different manner.
So what part of this world do you believe in?
I believe in the decision has already been made.
We ain't talking about.
Listen, man.
we-
I'm gonna tell you
fuck
what
the
America is. I'm
president.
gonna tell you what America is. America is Vegas, and what Vegas is. You think these motherfuckers just know go around there go 49, then they score 50, 48.
That's what it is.
The America already knows what they want. Bro, it's so
the
scary.
only- but
It's
the
how
only-
we're gonna move.
It's sick.
But the only time
It's
that
sickening.
Vegas knows is when it's the loser. The winner that chooses, he knows everything.
Well, guess what?
And so
If
the
Biden
only
gets-
time, hold on, the only time that Vegas know everything is when it's applied to the loser. But the person that's
I
winning,
don't feel that way.
No,
I won.
now, hold
A
on.
team could be
What
favored.
applies to the winner?
I don't.
Because when we say Vegas, we talking about the house.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
We talking about the house.
right.
But I'm saying, like, even if I
We
won,
talking about the bookie.
I've been
Right.
a winner. I've been a
So
winner.
if you
I
take
feel-
Nebraska, and say you got Nebraska by 5.5.
And they win by
Nebraska
6. I would
covered
feel
by
the same
6. You know what I'm saying?
I would feel the same way.
You gonna be like, I knew that they gonna win.
No, I would say
then-
this shit is scary.
but then
how
when-
close they know this shit.
Man,
Well, what if
the
they win by
the bookie-
25?
the
Then
bookie-
that's different.
So let's say this. The
And you
bookie-
say I knew that Nebraska
The
was gonna
bookie-
win.
I know
the bookie
that.
gonna know
I know that
everybody
Hillary
that's
Clinton-
hurt, you hear me? They gonna know if, I don't care if this team is putting up 50 a game, that this team over here got the defensive line that's gonna crush everything that they got going. And you might be just thinking, I love this team, they score 50 a game, but not knowing that they got this defensive line and this secondary that is really not going to allow these people to put up 50 a game. But we don't get into the details like that when we be betting. It's only a very,
right.
very few. My uncle, one of them, my Uncle
Yeah,
Bink, right,
yeah.
Brian, right?
Yeah.
He was betting for 30 years, so
I agree
he
with you.
gets into all them things and he hits a lot. But the average person that's just jumping in,
So
Which is
then,
the average voter.
Exactly.
Which is the average
Exactly.
voter.
so then you can't
And
say
we
that.
got
Exactly.
knowing
So-
everything
so
that's
then-
going on.
Right, don't
I
know
don't
the
care.
details.
I'm not
So
a
you
gambler.
can't say that.
I'm not
all I
So
know
then-
is everybody's
so
saying they scored 50
when you
games.
say
These
that-
people are talking
so
I'm
about
not gambling on
they got
this
Tom
shit.
Brady,
Right.
right?
So when you
What we
say
about
that-
Tom Brady last night,
Uh,
you would have thought that he would have put it on the damn Giants, right?
So, but when you say that this is a game, it's just that you haven't studied the game enough
yeah. No.
for it to be real.
Well, studying the game will lead you to believe it's not real. Studying the
No,
game.
because once you study the game, then you'll know that it's real. The same way that.
So you think this
How
voting
many-
shit is real?
How many acts have you said? We done said 2 court cases. We done said the Constitution and the treaties. How much of this do you think these people have read? Not an iota.
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
And you're trying
But
to.
then that
Not
goes
an
back. But that
iota.
goes back to what
So they
you
don't even know
said.
what to expect when it
But that
comes
goes-
to this political.
Like, all right,
game.
but that
I
goes-
even took a political science class.
Thank you.
That
in
goes
high
back.
school.
That goes back to what you said. What you were saying when it comes to the treaties and shit that's written in the Constitution. In the Constitution, that regards to the treaties. If individuals don't know that, motherfuckers don't even know what treaties is. Motherfuckers don't even know treaties still exist.
Who falls
They
is
still
that?
think that that's some shit that's some
So
white people.
because I voted, I am better than you. I am smarter than you. I have more goals than you. And that's not. Listen, y'all not fucking hearing me.
I hear you.
Y'all.
What
not,
you mean by why
What I
you
mean
say
by
that?
that is, I
Unpack
guarantee
that.
you,
Unpack
a
that.
huge percentage of the people that voted don't understand my way of thinking. A lot of people that voted, shout out to the smartest dumb
If
people.
you understand
Shout out-
politics,
yeah.
they understand exactly
Yeah, yeah.
your point and how you came.
Shout out to the
That's why
smartest
the
dumb
girl shouldn't
people.
have insulted you earlier. You know what I mean? Because
What?
you came as real
I came
as
as
it could
real
get.
as it can get, and I want to.
But then you can't make insults that when you start taking subliminal shots like
I just know there's a
voting
big
is just like a fake Gucci
It is,
purse.
it is,
You can't
it
do
is,
shit like
it
that.
is. Vote
So
for
then,
Trump.
but hold
I
on,
said, no,
because
let me say what I said.
because then
Let's
you
go
making
360.
fun of the people
I'm not
that
making
that
fun.
put in their
I'm not-
homework
no,
that
no,
vote.
No. Let me say what I said, because TV didn't hear the quote. I said voting is like buying a fake Louis Vuitton purse for $1,000. Knowing this is fake, but I want to fake everybody else out like I know I have a real purse.
But if somebody spent $1,000 on a Gucci bag, you know damn well they didn't know if it was real or not.
Yeah.
And then when you get around that female that know it's real, she gonna let you know, and you gonna feel stupid because you didn't do your homework.
Okay.
So that's what the relation is.
So hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. Let me unpack that. Where you going with this? I felt like you kind of took a shot at me, but I kind of like.
No, because you've been throwing shots at people all day.
You know why? Because
he been posting a lot of shit like, I went and voted and I got my sticker, master. He posted shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't have no problem with it.
No, let me tell you why.
But if another motherfucker got a problem with it, they gonna come back with a shot when they got the chance.
Because they're coming at like the same way I posted. I got my sticker today, master. They doing the same thing for people that didn't vote. They're like, whoever didn't vote today is stupid and don't know it. And I'm like, well, guess what? I tap dancing. Thank you, master, for my chance to vote. Fuck the vote.
My people came over today. He popped out his
You
sticker.
said it.
I asked him.
I was about to unpack something. What was the subject? No answer. Hold on.
It is what it is, man.
It's coming back to me. It's coming back to me now.
Man, the ego
what I was gonna unpack. Okay, so now with all that said, is the LBGT community them getting what they want on the ballot and then voted in law? Is that a game?
No.
That's it. That's real.
No, but the game come with money though. That's why just say that you ain't got enough.
Don't say it's a game. Just say you don't have. Just say that we don't have enough money to play the game.
It ain't got nothing to do with the money.
So why you think the LBGT got that shit on in law where they can be recognized? Why do you think that the Hispanics?
You see them have these big old parades where they're all together all over the nation. Don't get me wrong, you're gonna be able to. If we was together like that, we'd be able to get the money
to play the game, right?
But the game is played on the collectiveness. You understand what I'm saying? These people that's involved, a small group of them. It's called Congress. There's 300 of them. You know what I mean?
In the city.
You're going to take 300 and split them between 50 states.
Okay.
And you're going to probably vote on 4 or 5 of them. They're going to cater to your interests and your benefits
once you bring the
by
funds.
getting your votes. But
the votes. The votes come with what they put on the ballot. So what I'm saying is, if they
you get your agenda on the ballot is to come as a collective.
All right then.
If Trump loses,
they coming as a collective.
Right. So we on board. Yeah, we on board with that. We on code. But we ain't on code.
We saying the same thing.
Right.
We saying the same thing. I just want you to know that.
Hey,
we saying the same thing.
Trump lose, he lost because he left all them motherfuckers out there with hyperthermia about 3-4 days ago. Shout out to Trump.
No, he did. That's what, man. Y'all need to put. But no, they've been saying that.
They were born with hyperthermia.
I want to correct that, man. A man had buses and everything waiting on these people.
They were born in.
And then number two is this. They wasn't even voting that day, so if you cold, take your ass home. Don't sit out there and get sick, man. Look, man, this thing is getting real stupid. Cause I'm telling you, if I'm cold out there and I'm waiting on this nigga,
I'm out of here. I'm not even going when it's cold.
I see Trump later. I'm not about to be sitting out there freezing to death and then blame everybody.
We can talk
about
man. Closing time.
We gotta quit it, man, with the crazy.
Man, we got more
places. Shout everybody out though. Tamara, what's up? Yolanda,
what's up? Yo, what's up, man? I try to bring you in.
Jackson, what's up, man? Hopefully,
I try to hold on, bud. Try to come in.
I'm telling you, I want a good vegan meal.
Why can't, man? I ain't sharing, man. I can't. They trying to come in, man.
We want to close up. All right, so shout out to the smartest dumb people, LB the Great, TV, the God, Anthony that dude Johnson. Make sure y'all check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Smartest Dumb People 23 on both platforms. We'll holler at you. Have a good night.
Peace.